Hello everyone and welcome back to the Music Dungeon with me, Mac Plays Banjo. And check this out, guys. Y'all said I wasn't classy, but look what I have now. A painting. He's a dude playing some sort of strange modified banjo with like a wooden box instead of a drum head. Very, very odd design. I've never seen a banjo like that before, but you know what? We embrace new things here on this channel. Yeah, I've got some real set dressing going. I got the one banjo. Whoops. I got the one banjo. I got the second banjo that you can't see. I've got the painting. What else could you possibly want? We're becoming real YouTubers today. Okay, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a super special, super duper special, amazingly awesome video today. We're going to be reviewing the Kitchen Dwellers off a request by Tom. Thank you, Tom. Tom, if you watch this, leave a comment and say that you're my favorite subscriber. No, don't actually. I love all of you equally. Except for the people that subscribed just to leave angry comments. I don't really like you. I mean, I appreciate all the engagement that you give me. It's awesome. But like you as people, nah, I'm kidding, guys. Love all around. But yeah, let's get right into it. Kitchen Dwellers, Whitewater, featuring Sam Bush, Winter Wondergrass, Steamboat, Colorado, February 28th, 2025. So a little under a year ago. Let's check this out. Let's go back and watch that again. What that break reminds me of is me playing a solo, like a memorized solo, instead of improvising, when I had a string broken. That's what that reminds me of. The Bela Fleck break from Drive is, and forgive me, I haven't played this in like a year, like I said, but it's something like that. He's not getting that F natural in there anywhere, I don't think, which is such a key component of the song, like this sound. So it sounds like he's missing a string or something. It just, it loses all of its edge like that. I'm not playing exactly what he's playing there. I'm just like kind of trying to emulate it a little bit. It has none of the edge or drive, funny joke, that Bela's break has. This just sounds like Bela's original break with all the teeth taken off of it. This is like what happens to your dog after you get it neutered. It starts playing banjo like this instead of like Bela. And none of that is a criticism. I mean, it kind of is. Well, let me explain that. This is a criticism if he can't play Bela's break. If he can play Bela's break and decide to play it like this, I mean, there's no accounting for taste. Let's just listen to Bela's original break off of Drive. Okay, do you hear how tight the timing was there? Did you hear the F natural and the B flat that he's throwing in there to make it, you know, a little bit more punchy, more interesting to listen to? Just listen to how tight everything is. Like, even just this part with just the banjo and mandolin, you're kind of like, I'm bobbing my head along with it because the timing is so good. And then all the other instruments come in here. And they're building, right? Jerry Douglas is throwing in some notes there to build it up to get into the B part. And then B part, where the bass comes in, the guitar starts doing its thing. It's a really masterful, energetic build-up over those first two parts. Now compare that to this. They got the hit there at the start of the second A part, but there's nothing leading up to it. And the banjo player's groove, no offense, is just not bringing any energy to the table, like Bela's did in the record. Listen to that again. Do you hear the difference there? Bela's playing is like perfectly clean and really has great rhythm to it. It's building up energy. This version, like, the timing is kind of loose. The playing is kind of sloppy. There's really no energy buildup up until like that first hit with all the instruments. It's just they really needed to practice that intro some more. And I'm not trying to like dog on these guys or anything. We haven't really seen what they're like as a band. I just feel like this intro here kind of takes out everything about Whitewater that makes the song good. And I know people are going to say like they're just playing in a different style, which we'll talk about that later after we've watched some more of their work. But let's keep watching this because I've just been I've been talking for like 30 minutes on the first 20 seconds of this clip. Anyways, let's check it out. Something I do want to mention that I didn't notice until now, it is freezing right there. So I am going to give them a little bit of grace for that because like you can see their breaths, their hands are probably really cold. So maybe that's why this version is lacking. It is really hard to play well when your hands are freezing. So we will give them a little bit of grace on that. Maybe this version is lacking all that because they're freezing to death. Hopefully I can find a video of them doing this in a warm setting. Okay, that second break from the banjo player was leagues better than the kickoff. So maybe his hands are warming up and the kickoff was just weak because of the cold. Oh, here we go. Whitewater with Billy strings. This looks like it's indoors, so it's not going to be so cold. Let's check this out. It didn't sound that much better in the warmth. The banjo player's break, anyways. Very, very similar to what he did in the last video. They're just really not locking into a groove with each other that well. At least the banjo player, his solos kind of sound a little stilted. I don't know. Let's check out the next video that Tom sent. We'll get a little bit better view of their playing together. Okay. This brings up a conversation about style versus skill, because I could really easily listen to this guy's banjo playing, and I don't know anything about him other than these 3 videos that I've seen, so take this with a grain of salt. But I could definitely watch these videos and just flat out be like, this dude sucks, because he's really not locking into the groove very well. His playing is super sloppy, bunch of issues, and it doesn't really seem like he has devoted that much time to the instrument. Now, I'm not gonna just flat out say he sucks, because this isn't a rage baiting video. this is gonna be a little bit more serious. I don't think he sucks. I just don't think he's devoted much time to really learning how to play and master the instrument. That is the impression I get from his playing. Now, what a lot of people would say is that he has done that, but then he's just decided to do this as a style. I hear that a lot with people who seem like they can't play their instrument very well, and then they're just out there making music. People will be like, oh, well, they do know how to play the instrument. This is the way that they choose to do it. And then they get really angry if you say that they don't have as great of, technical chops. And what I have to say with that is maybe, because when you make your own style for the instrument, if that style sounds really, really similar to someone who doesn't know what they're doing, it really raises a question of, do you actually know what you're doing? Because the style you have chosen sounds really, really similar to someone who doesn't know what they're doing. There are definitely great artists who have mastered their craft and then decided to do something which on first glance seems like there's a much skill involved in it, but they have always had that backbone of knowing how to do it properly. I think the way that you can best express yourself in any art is first by learning how to copy the masters who came before you perfectly. This was like a Greek and Roman style of education, I believe. I don't remember what it's called, but first you learn to copy the masters perfectly, and then you learn to make your own things in the style of the masters, and then you learn to create things that are against the master's style. And I think that is really, really important that you don't skip to step 3. Because if you just skip to step 3 without learning how all the amazing players before you did it, you're gonna just sound like you don't know what you're doing. And that's kind of what this guy is giving me. Look at Bela, look at Noam, right? These are 2 guys who have their own really distinct, awesome, original style, but they learned how to play like Earl Scruggs first. Earl Scruggs had his own style. He learned to play like Snuffy Jenkins first. Going outside of banjo, Picasso could copy, Michelangelo. He could copy Rembrandt, all these guys. And then after he was amazing at copying them, he went and he branched out and he did his own thing, which at first glance kind of looks like, does this guy know what he's doing? I could do that. But he did know what he was doing because he had that amazing foundational bedrock before he started branching out. And I feel like this guy just kind of skipped to step 3 without mastering all the fundamentals first. And I'm not trying to pick on him or anything. I genuinely wish him all the best. He clearly has a super successful band, and that's awesome. I'm just using him as an example for myself or for anyone watching. Before you start trying to create your own style and be your own artist and stuff, just go learn how other people have done it first. If you go through that apprenticeship phase where you're just learning, the style that you create will actually sound new and interesting and considered. It won't sound like someone who just has no idea what they're doing. People will say that learning how other people does it kills your creativity, and that is totally wrong. Learning how a bunch of different people have done it and then connecting those things in interesting ways, taking the bits and pieces you like out of it, and then synthesizing your own new thing based on all those bits and pieces is how real creativity happens. And then your creativity is standing on this bedrock of masters who came before you, instead of standing on just this sand of ignorance. All of the greatest artists of all time learned the conventional stuff first before they branched out. They did some of their own stuff while they were learning the conventional stuff, but they focused on that for a long time. And then learning all of that synthesized into a brand new style that they then went out and created awesome stuff with. So yeah, all love and respect to this dude. Huge respect to him. I wish him all the best with his band. Clearly they're very successful. His playing just kind of sounds like that to me, and I thought that was a really good topic of conversation for this video. Anyways, let's finish this out. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm just going to go to the third video now because I've been recording for a long time and I can't really hear what's going on in that last video. I can't hear the lyrics or anything. Just like something weird with the audio. So let's check out this last video that Tom sent me.
Ever since the days of old, men would search for wealth untold, dig for silver and they pan for gold, and then leave the empty holes. Blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again, calling to you like a long lost friend, for I know who you are, the alligators and the gar.
Okay, he's sounding better in this video. Sorry I had to cut that video up because I know Paste copyrights their videos and I don't want to get a copyright on this video. I don't really know anything about the banjo player or the band as a whole, so maybe my comments about his style not being rooted in the masters before him were inaccurate. If that's true, then I was wrong, but I think the larger point still stands. If you try and create your own style without learning other people's styles first, it's just going to sound like you have no idea what you're doing, because you don't. There's a reason that people before you learned to do things a specific way and then passed those down to the people younger than them, who then refined them. Any sort of technique or pedagogy on an instrument is people who have devoted way more time to it than you, learning the optimal way to do things, at least for them, and then them passing it down to their students who copy them, made some changes, and then passed them down again. And then you learning the instrument today, you kind of have like a cheat code almost, where you can learn it way, way faster than they did because they've already learned all these great ways to do things that you don't have to like fool around with to find out. That's just like thousands of hours of free experience that you don't have to go through to learn these things. We have Earl's entire career of experience to learn off of, and we don't have to spend our entire lives doing it because he already did, and we can just copy him. Then after you've copied him, you understand why he did things the way he did, and then you can go your own way. But you're going your own way with such a better understanding of things than if you just try and go your own way, you know, go to a music store, buy a banjo, and you're like, I'm just going to play it however I want. That's awesome. If you're just doing it for fun, you know, whatever you want. But if you're trying to create great art, put in the time and effort to understand the art that came before you, and you will create way, way better art than if you just like try and do your own thing. Anyways, into the soapbox. This is probably a kind of a controversial take, I know, but I appreciate you watching all the way to the end to hear me out. If you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments. If you disagree and want to leave a comment, all I ask is that you watch all the way to the end to hear my full argument before you leave a comment disagreeing. If you do leave a comment disagreeing, just make sure you say you watched all the way to the end so we know that you actually took the time to hear the argument. But I think it's a really good topic of conversation, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to go check out some of my other videos. You'll probably like those too. Like and subscribe if you want, because I'm this close to 1,000 subscribers, and I think we're going to get there before February, which would be amazing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.